Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Pages and Pals live show. Um, if you've never been to a Pages and Pals live show, this is where we just grab our books and we read together. I'll start off with myself, I guess. I am going to go ahead and continue reading Witchlings by Clarabelle Ortega. This is middle grade, and it follows a bunch of witches who, on the day they get selected for their witch house, there's apparently a thing called spare witches where they don't really belong anywhere. So in order for them to really belong somewhere, they have to do like this impossible task. And it's really fun to read. It's the characters are really fun, and I'm enjoying it so far. So I'm going to continue reading that. Chloe, since you're right next to me, go right ahead.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chloe. I am from the YouTube channel Brunette Bibliophile. Tonight, I have two choices. The first one is I could finish the audiobook of A Brush with Love by Maisie Eddings. I have a little less than 2 hours left in it. My other choice is I could kind of start/continue reading When You Get the Chance by Emma Lord. I started it, but I only read 4 pages. So I need to kind of get a jump on this for the quarterly romance book club. So those are my two choices. I just haven't picked which one I would like to read yet.
Desiree, why don't you go next?
Hold on one second. Okay. I am reading Call Us What We Carry by Amanda Gorman, which was the young Black poet that delivered her poetry at the Biden inauguration. And I've already been reading it somewhat, and it's just very powerful, and there's a lot in there in regards to what we've been dealing with working through COVID and what happened on January 6th. And so I think poetry can be political anyway, but it's additionally political, very focused on some of the politics and things that have been going on over the last couple of years.
Hi, my name is Donna. I'm Galaxy Books on Instagram, and I will be reading Dig Two Graves by Gretchen McNeil. I'm actually doing a giveaway on my page for her other books on Instagram. So if you guys want to check that out, you guys could check that out too. It's gonna be her. There's 3 books that they're doing a giveaway on my page. And so far, I only just started reading it. Supposed to be kind of one of those drillers where there's also some psychological issues. Someone's gonna get killed, and talking to someone else in like a camp, away camp, that someone else after a conversation, they're gonna get an impression that they should do a deal with them where if you help me kill someone, I'll kill someone for you kind of thing. So it's gonna go a little crazy here. So I'm excited to read more into it. I only just started. And back to Kathleen.
All right, so for those of you who are joining us, welcome to Pages and Pals. As I mentioned, this is just a live show where we read together. Just grab your book, whatever book that you're currently reading, and we're going to start off with our first reading sprint. And the way we do our live show is that we do a 25-minute reading sprint, then we take a break, then we end the live show with a 20-minute reading sprint. Excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and share a timer on the screen so that you guys know how much time there's left in the reading session, and there will be music. I'm using a brand new music thing, so I don't know what kind of music it is, to be honest. But if that bothers you, just let me know in the comments and I'll turn it down or turn it off. But we'll get started. Okay. So that was 25 minutes. So I read a chapter. I don't even know how many pages that was. But again, for those of you joining us, I am reading Witchling by Clara Bell Ortega. This is a middle grade about a bunch of witchlings, and they're getting kind of like sorted into their coven, and they, when they're are being sorted, our main character finds out she doesn't have a coven. She doesn't really belong anywhere. She's what they call a spare witch, and usually spare witches are kind of like, they're not shunned from society, but they're kind of like treated as an outsider. So to kind of get over that, she invokes the impossible task, and her and two other witchlings who are also considered spare witches, they have to do this impossible task, and then I believe after that they get to be in a coven. I think that's how it works. I don't quite remember. I really enjoy it. I think it's fun. It's a really fun read. There's lots of action going on. So I recommend, if you are interested in picking up a middle grade book, to read Witchlings. Like I said, it's a really fun read. Chloe, how's your book going?
I'm kind of towards the end of my book. I'm reading A Brush with Love by Maisie Eddings. And everything, I think it's like building up towards the point where it's like everything is going to come inevitably crashing down until the resolution. But our main character has a lot of anxiety, and she strives to be successful and perfect and like ace everything. Both our main characters are in dental school, and she's reached a point where she's like she didn't realize she had an exam the next day. She thought she still had like a week to prepare. So she's like, all the anxiety is like built up, and she's freaking out. And she's kind of, people around her are realizing that she needs to take care of herself. So I'm interested to see how she's going to be reacting to all of this.
Are you enjoying it? Like, is it good? Like, is it like...
It's not like a 5-star for me. It's probably going to be a 4. I did take like a couple days break though from it because I had to read something else. So, but it's like a 4. It's good.
I think I have to restart it. Oh, I'm next. So yeah, I'm just reading more poetry. I think I'm listening to the audiobook and like reading along, and I definitely want to buy this book and her other one. But it's really good. It's very poignant. I love how powerful her poetry is.
What were you reading again? Because I stepped away when you mentioned what you were reading.
It's called Call Us What We Carry by Amanda Gorman.
Oh, and you said these are political poetry?
I think like most poetry does have like political stuff about it, but there's like very specific political connections in regards to how as a country we've been dealing with COVID and how people have been behaving and, you know, are waiting for vaccines and the sorrow we've been dealing with, and also like what happened on January 6th. So there's just been a lot of that stuff.
So, as I was saying, I'm reading Dig to Graves. The book started off where she, as teenagers, she was in school with, she was one of those outcast kind of people who doesn't really have friends. And then she had one friend, and that friend kind of made her go to this party just because there was one guy that her friend spotted and really want to get to know. So she forced the invert friend to go with her to this party. And then because she kind of ruined the chance for her friend to make acquaintance with the cute guy, she went like all over her and kind of like betrayed her by pointing out, like, every time they would talk about like the popular girls, in a bad way, she will take clips of it and then use that to show the other people like, oh, she's making fun of you guys, so kind of like backstabbing her. And then because of that, they end up being like not friends, and then that kind of died off. And then now the main character, her name is actually what was her name again? Neve. So she went off to glam camp, and at the glam camp, she is going to eventually kind of befriend someone who's gonna end up doing that kind of trade off where I help you kill somebody, you help me kill somebody kind of scheme. But right now they're only just enter into the camp, and so there's not too much going on yet, but it looks like there is gonna be, once they make that connection, as like hell's probably gonna break loose, basically. So I'm still getting into that part, into knowing the characters. So that's how it is for me right now. Back to Kathleen.
Okay. All right. So we are going to go into our second reading sprint. This is a 20-minute reading sprint. It is the last one of this live show. So go ahead and grab your book. As usual, I'm going to go ahead and share the screen with the timer. Okay, so that was 20 minutes. So I read 2 chapters. They just found out some conspiracy theory about the impossible task. It's interesting, as I said before. Chloe, how was your book?
Not much has changed, but the main character, the main female character, was kind of an ass to the guy. And now the chapters alternate between the two of them. So now we're in his chapter, and we're I want to know what she's thinking, but I'll have to wait until the next chapter probably to see what's going on. But other than that, not much has changed. I have a little less than an hour left.
I am like 84% of the way done with the audiobook for this, and I'm wondering if like the audiobook doesn't have all the poems, because I'm also reading it in Kindle, and Kindle's saying I'm only like 40% of the way, 58% of the way in. So that seems like a big difference, I feel like. But I don't know if the poems are getting like angrier, but it feels like it.
What about you, Donna? How's your book?
You're muted, Donna.
Sorry, my mouse has issues, so I was trying to like hover over the to unmute. Not much is going on so far. They're still getting to know the people in camp. Haven't struck that deal yet, but some of the characters seem more outspoken, and then some of them are more introverts. So trying to see how that will go. Still not much going on yet. Still trying to know the characters. Back to Kathleen.
But you're enjoying your book?
Yes. I read another book by her that I didn't know was actually part of a trilogy, but it was so I have an idea of how her writing style is. So I'm going to be surprised because in the other book I read by her, it was called Murder Trending, and it was similar in like psychological beings and a lot of like kind of interesting form of telling stories. So of how they interact. So I'm kind of looking forward to see how she's gonna exploit her characters in here.
Okay. So thank you everybody for joining us for our Pages and Pals a live show. Our next Pages and Pals live show, if you guys want to mark your calendar, is going to be May 21st. That is a Saturday as usual, and it's going to be at this time at 8 p.m. Eastern time on my channel. If you guys want to join us, again, that's May 21st. That's the weekend. That's 2 weekends after Mother's Day. But yeah, May 21st, so mark your calendars, 8 p.m. Eastern time on my channel. Dawn, these sprints are always helpful. I have to check out which link now. Yeah, I appreciate you coming. I appreciate that these sprints are helpful. I really enjoy personally these sprints. It's honestly my favorite thing to do every month with you guys is to read together because I feel like I get a lot done. I get a lot of reading done. And during my slump, this definitely helped for me to keep reading. But yeah, so we'll see you guys on March 21st again on 8 p.m. Eastern time. And thank you everybody for joining us. And thank you everybody for who logged into the live stream. And we'll see you on May 21st. Bye guys.